Have you ever had a sales conversation where you knew after the conversation that you knew they were absolutely a great fit to work with you, but they didn't have the funds? Well, in this video, I'm actually going to break down 3 of the most common ways to walk through, jump over, go around that objection with you today. What's happening, Sales Ascender? Sean here, back at you with another high-ticket tune-up. Super excited to be here with you today. It is Wednesday. It's hump day, right? I hope you're having a great hump day. But let's just jump right into it. We got an awesome question today. Today's question came from James. James asks this. He says, Sean, what if my prospect doesn't have the funds, but they're a good fit? Now, just to give you some context before I answer this, I'm going to give you 3 simple ways, the most common ways to handle this particular objection. However, I just want to give a little bit of context on how this came to be. So James, as I'm speaking with James, what James was saying was, hey, he has actually a software product and he also sells some other courses and things. And so he was having a conversation with the prospect and the prospect says to him, oh my gosh, like I know I could use this. I have a bunch of people that can use this product and program that you have to make some bigger impact. And James said, great. And they got to the place where the prospect was supposed to invest some cash with them. And the prospect said, I don't have the funds. What do you do when this happens? Well, there's 3 really simple tools that you can use. So let me just jump into it. So first and foremost, we know they're a good fit, but they don't have the funds. So step 1, or the first way to deal with this particular objection, is very straightforward and simple. Disqualify them. Just say, hey, you know what? I only do business one way. And the secret to this is you as the entrepreneur needs to be okay with the resolution and the solution. So what I'm going to give you today is 3 options. I would encourage you to think through these 3 options and see if they're the right fit for you and your business, and you can use any, or you can use all of them, or you can use none of them. But what I will tell you is that when I have this one come up, because it comes up from time to time for most everybody, the first thing you can do is just simply disqualify them. You can just say, hey, you know what? It sounds like you're completely in a place. This is making sure that you actually had the budget conversation with them, right? Because a lot of people just skip over the budget conversation because budget means a lot more than money. See, most people say, hey, let's talk about the budget. They're immediately going to money, whereas you don't actually have to go all the way to money, because budget could be blood, sweat, tears, money, time, a budget of all of these things. And so when we talk about, hey, can we discuss the budget in this call today? Make sure to have the conversation around all those areas, including money as a little piece of this. And if you find that like they've got the time, they've got the energy, they're ready to put the blood, sweat, and tears into the thing, but they're just stuck on the funds, the first option you have is say, you know what, we don't do anything else. You're just not a fit. Like let's figure out how to get you back to a place where you can come back. But for right now, it's not a good fit. You could say no and you can move on. That is one option that you have. The second option is this. You can design a plan with them. So if you're going through funds with people and you're going through the budget conversation and you start saying, well, you know, how if you were to make a decision to move forward with me today, how would you actually be able to afford this? And they would say, well, I don't have the funds. And then you as the entrepreneur could then give them a couple of options. You could say, well, let's see, do you have credit available, like on a credit card? Is there something we could do there? You're going to say yes or no, or maybe so. Do you have is there something in savings? And walk through that conversation with them. Do you have a co-signer you could use? You could walk through that conversation with them. Could you sell some stuff around your house to earn some cash flow to invest with me? There's that option. There's borrow it from a friend. There's just you could use a life insurance policy. I mean, like there's a lot of actual different ways for people to be able to afford your service. So if you're thinking like designing a plan with them is going to be a good fit for you, if you run into this objection, take some time before you get into your next sales call and write out what are the plans that have worked with clients in the past. See, I remember when I was selling in a different career path for myself, we were selling our other software product that we have, and we actually laid out about 4 or 5 of these things that people typically would pay with us. And so I would be able to walk through each and every one of those. And when I knew that they were the right fit, but I knew they didn't have the funds because I asked them the questions, I would say, hey, listen, this is one of the plans that we can use. This is the way to do it. Is this going to work? And you eventually get to a place where they say, oh, that would work. And if you can't get there, like it's okay to disqualify them. There's so many people in the world that need what you do, and you want the people that are swimming towards you that can actually afford your service, right? That's always the best case scenario. Sometimes you have to do a little bit of the hard work, having the conversation with them saying, well, other clients have paid this way. Can you do that? Other people have done this. Can you do that? And give them, 2, 3, 4, 5, and sometimes 7, 8, 9 options. And if you can find one, great. you got it, right? And then the last one is really interesting. I tend to shy away from this one, but this one's called pay to play. What's pay to play, Sean? Well, pay to play is very simply, in the case that I was speaking with James and he said to me, I know this person's the right fit. He's a little bit of an influencer. He has a big audience that could probably use the same services that we offer. And he said to James on the call, hey, I could bring new business your way, but I don't have the funds to pay for your service. Can we do something like that where I can bring you some people and then we can get started? If that's the case for you and that happens and you want to build like a pay to play option for that person, the best way to do this is to straightforward say, okay, cool, let's do it this way. Before we get you started, you need to bring at least X amount of people into my world who actually invest with me, and then we'll bank up that credit and then we'll get your account started if it was a software product. You could do the same thing. In our world, one of the things we actually did when we did a summit, we were almost in a place like this. We did have the funds, but we were at a place where we said, okay, let's figure out a pay-to-play plan. We ended up building a partnership with the person who ran the digital summit, the virtual summit. And we actually, before we even got into the agreement with him to build one for ourselves, we'd brought him like 3 or 4 new clients, and we didn't even say we were going to do it. We just said, hey, here's another person that wants to do a virtual summit. Here's another person. Here's another person. And then he was able to actually convert those deals, and he charges quite a bit for virtual summits. So he came back to us and he's like, guys, I feel like I owe something to you. I was hoping maybe we could do a summit together. And he actually brought it up to us. And then that was our pay to play move with him. And it worked out really well. And it was a great partnership. Love the guy. And that's a way to handle this move. So it all depends on the person you're speaking with and if they're the right fit for you, but you know they don't have the funds, but you do want to work with them. So again, remember a couple of things that are really, really vital. The most important thing is it's your business. And if it's your business, know that you make the rules. And if you make the rules, you can say no to anyone. You can say no at any time to anybody because it's your business. But if they are a good fit and they just don't have the funds, here's 3 very simple ways that you can actually win the game. So with that said, you've just been tuned up. It's Wednesday and I can't wait to see you tomorrow.